Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all doing really well. Today's video is a bit random, I will admit that, but let me explain. A few days ago, I was scrolling through TikTok, as I do, and I came across a weird ad. And I know that weird ads are pretty common on TikTok, but I don't mean a weird ad is in those like weird game ads where it's like a woman yeeting babies left and right. I mean, I thought I saw the Property Brothers, but then upon closer inspection, realized they weren't the Property Brothers, but just another set of twins that look creepily similar to them. It was very uncanny valley, and I wanted to look a bit more into it. And it turns out that they actually have like a whole thing going on for them on the internet right now, so I thought it was the perfect opportunity to explore it. Like, how many times do we get Property Brother doppelgangers? Literally never. Before we continue on with the video though, I did want to give a quick shout out to Audible, who sponsored today's video. If you haven't heard of them before, Audible is actually the leading provider of spoken word entertainment and audiobooks. They've got new releases, bestsellers, a ton of different genres, and they also even host podcasts now. Audible's also recently launched Audible Plus, where with a membership you can get full access to their Plus catalog, which has thousands of select originals, audiobooks, podcasts, and even ad-free versions of popular shows and exclusive series. They also even have guided meditations, and what's great is that you can actually download or stream without any limit because you can listen to everything offline too. I've really gotten into audiobooks this year because it's allowed me to read during the times where I wanted to read but couldn't because I was doing something, so like cooking or laundry or something like that. So it's really great that audiobooks allow me to multitask while I'm still reading. I also noticed it's actually really handy for in the car too, because I don't know what happened, but I can't read in the car anymore without getting sick. So it's nice that I have the option to just listen to the story instead. And I'm not gonna lie, it kind of has helped me kill my reading goals for this year. Like, we're halfway through the year and I'm already done my yearly goal for Goodreads right now, which I'm not the type of person that really stresses about how much I read, but compared to last year, it's just really satisfying to know that I'm reading a lot more. I actually just finished The Project by Courtney Summers, which follows this girl who's searching for her sister who joined a cult. It's honestly a really good read. I would definitely recommend it if you're into mystery-esque stories or cult things, but you might actually recognize the name of Courtney Summers because I've talked about one of her previous books and how good the audiobook for that was, which is Sadie. I would also add that to your list if you're interested. But the next book that I'm going to be reading is actually called In the Dream House by Carmen Marie Machado. This is kind of like an impromptu book club, I guess, if you want to listen along with me, but that's what I'm going to be checking out this month. If that isn't your thing though, Audible has thousands of different titles to choose from, so you're bound to find something that you want to check out. So if you want to give it a try, you can actually visit audible.com/KCAonso or text KCAonso to 500-500 to start your free 30-day trial. That's audible.com/KCAonso or text KCAonso to 500-500 to start your free 30-day trial with Audible. Thanks again to Audible for sponsoring. Now, let's get into the video. This is the ad in question, by the way. It was for McCain Fries, and the whole premise of it was that the twins were going to be surprising their friend with frozen fries. I actually think that's one of the things I love about when massive brands will team up with influencers to create some sort of promotional content, because no matter how good the skit is or whatever they end up producing, there's always just something slightly off. Like, who is surprising their friend with fries? Also, this reaction. They're frozen fries. But seriously, I can't be the only person who thinks they look insanely similar. I also can't wrap my head around the idea that the universe has given us two sets of nearly identical twins, completely removed from each other, but also in the same time period, and are also both Canadian and both famous online. Like, are they made in a lab? Part of me does wonder if Drew and Jonathan are aware of this or just have no clue. Like, I feel like they should know. We need to get to the bottom of this. Like, I'm talking about a Red Table Twin talk. Little update. I ended up double checking after filming, and it turns out they actually do know about them. A few years back, the Even Out twins actually went as the Property Brothers for Halloween, and in response, they got this video from Drew and Jonathan.
Marco, Nico, you look more alike than we do.
Yeah, we actually need a break, so if you guys could step in, the new Property Brothers.
Property Brothers 2.0.
Beyond the actual, like, physical similarity of them, I did want to look into what these guys are actually doing online, and it turns out that they actually call themselves the Even Out twins, but their actual names are Marco and Nico. They've got a TikTok account, a YouTube channel, an Instagram, basically the whole 9 yards. They're like your typical social media twins. Also, I know earlier I said that they're Canadian. I want to just put a quick disclaimer. I'm like 99.9% sure that they're Canadian, and I only say that because they've never actually definitively said we are Canadian, But let me show my evidence. For starters, they actually have a profile that was written by CBC, which if you're not from Canada, they're Canadian. But within that article, they actually mentioned that they filmed in London, Ontario before, which you're not filming in London, Ontario unless you absolutely have to. So I'd almost go as far as to say they're not just Canadian, but they're also from Ontario. They also wear Leafs hats in their videos, and they've also filmed on the TTC before. Which, as I'm saying this out loud right now, maybe I don't have the mountain of evidence that I thought I had, but I stand by my findings, okay? I'm very confident. One quote for that article, though, that absolutely killed me was, "Some people don't think twins exist for some reason." Like, yeah, maybe I don't. There's so many of you guys raking in cash online, but when I look outside, I've never seen a twin in my life. How does that make sense? I'm not saying that I think that these guys are fake or that most twins online are fake, but there has to be at least one fake twin duo. Like, come on. I just picture somebody trying to make it on social media and they're looking around at all these famous twins and they think, this would be so much easier if I just doubled myself and pretended I was a twin. Which, I don't know how long you could keep that lie up, but I'd almost be disappointed if I found out that no one had tried that before, because that would be hilarious. Can you imagine trying to pull that off? You have to make yourself different enough that you look like you're twins, but also not like you're the exact same person copy and pasted beside yourself. You could also never do meet and greets. It's kind of like Lil Michaela. I actually don't want to give her any ideas. In terms of their actual content though, it's very twin-centric, and they actually mainly focus on pranks, but one of the biggest series that they have on their TikTok and YouTube is this glitch in the Matrix prank. How it works is that one of the twins will interact with somebody outside or walk by them, and then they'll leave and have the second twin show up in a spot where the victim of the prank would know that if that was the same person, they couldn't just pop up there, so it's like a glitch in the Matrix. The people in these videos either react super shocked or they literally do not care, and I do think that some of these are probably staged, but I think for the most part it's harmless. But the more I was watching these videos, I realized what I found so entertaining about them was it was so easy to picture Drew and Jonathan doing them. And I think that's because these TikToks have the same awkward but campy energy to them to the skits that Drew and Jonathan do in their own show. So pairing that with the fact that these guys look so similar, it's just really easy to picture Jonathan and Drew as E-boys in some alternate universe. Maybe TikTok property E-brothers are more likely than we think. They also do that style of content where they'll just go up to a random person on the street to get a reaction out of them, like this Bang Energy one.
You guys just look really thirsty. I was wondering if you want to bang?
All I'm asking is to never be reminded of that man ever again. You guys know exactly who I'm talking about. I'm convinced at this point that as a society, we will flourish the day that TikTokers are released from the vice grip that Bang Energy has on them. These guys wouldn't be twins on the internet though if they didn't cash in on the quintessential twin content, like this relatable one.
When you're not a twin.
I don't really understand what's going on here if I'm being honest. I think the point they're trying to make here is that if you don't have a twin, you don't have somebody to laugh with. But they're all laughing. So he does. But maybe I need a twin to understand this. There's also this elevator Russian roulette one, which at face value, they're just doing elevator Russian roulette. Nothing really to write home about. But if you turn on the audio for this video, for some reason the camera guy behind them is just moaning. Completely removed from the actual bit, and nobody acknowledges it.
Thank God.
Like, why is he doing that? And more importantly, why is nobody saying anything? Imagine hearing that in the distance. Like, yeah. They also pull an end of the world prank on their family, but more specifically their mom. And I don't think I've seen a more relaxed, borderline sedated response to the end of the world.
We interrupt our programming. This is a national emergency.
Wait.
This is not a test.
Oh my God. Seek immediate shelter. Well, we'll all die together.
Oh my God. Seek immediate shelter. Maybe we should do that at some point. And I hate to say this, okay? I genuinely mean that. But what the fuck is that font? You know what that font tells me? That I'm about to watch Shrek, or some sort of medieval times movie. Not that I need a duck and cover. Unless the year's 1520. A weirdly specific trend I've noticed on their TikTok account, though, is that They're very dedicated to this like debit card mask prank. They have several videos showing how to do it and executing the prank, and how it works is they'll like cut a slit into a mask, slide a debit card into it, and I don't know, it just feels like a lot of videos dedicated to a bit that at the very best turns out like this video.
How can I forget this wallet at home? God, please, if there's a God, please pay for this. Please.
This man just looks so done. And I'm kind of done on his behalf. Like, why are you making out with a debit terminal? I know at the surface level you're gonna say, it's just a prank, bro. It's just a prank. But is it though? Is it? Part of me also does wonder if brands work with these guys because they bear such a resemblance to the Property Brothers. Like, when I first scrolled past their McCain Fries ad, I thought those were the Property Brothers endorsing a bunch of fries. The only reason I went back and looked was because I thought that they had a TikTok account and I wanted to go check it out. But then after I looked a little bit more and looked at the comments, I realized they weren't the Property Brothers. So there had to be at least some people that scrolled past that ad, didn't even have a second thought about it, and thought it was just the Property Brothers endorsing some fries. Which means in some cases that McCain Fries got a Property Brothers endorsement without having to pay the price of getting the Property Brothers. Which, if they actually thought it out that way, that is like the biggest brand thing I've ever heard. But that is just me putting on a very, very large tinfoil hat. But these guys are definitely aware that they look like the Property Brothers. They've actually done a skit playing them before. But oh my god, is that ever a power to hold? Like, if they played their cards right, they could probably yank that Wine Mom audience rug right out from under Drew and Jonathan. Which is crazy. Speaking of the bootleg Property Brothers though, it did actually remind me it's been a really long time since we've checked in on the actual ones. So I thought this is the perfect opportunity. For starters, they actually have a game app, which continues to be one of the most popular DMs I get in response to one of my videos, like, to this day. At least once a week, I'll have somebody who, I guess, just recently came across the Property Brothers video I did, and they find out about the game, and they'll message me asking me to do it, and I've held off on it just because I don't think there's enough content in the game for a whole video, but I think this is the perfect excuse. So starting off with the loading screen, it's promising. A little bit terrifying also, though. Like, the way that they jump out kind of screams Coraline to me.
Daisy, Daisy.
Give me your answer, do.
So we're not off to like the best start, but the whole premise of the game is that you're going to be helping the Property Brothers with their projects, and the first one that I did, they were on their last living room and I had to like dress it up. Off the bat, the graphics are honestly really nice, and you can tell that they really spent their time making the game and like not making it just a cash grab, like a certain Dobre Brothers basketball wielding app. But while the game does look good, and I think it was executed to the best it could be, it is what it is at the end of the day. Like, I changed a couch 4 times. It's kind of like boneless Sims. Or I guess small-scale Sims is actually a better word for it. What I wasn't expecting from this game, though, were mini-games a la Candy Crush, which, when they first popped up, I thought it was super jarring and random, and I thought I was gonna hate that. But as I realized why they were put in the game, it actually ended up being one of my favorite features. When I first downloaded the app, they actually gave a warning for in-app purchases, so when I noticed that my money was going down, in my head, I was like, they're totally gonna make me pay real money to like add more stuff or get more options. But it turns out that the way that you get more money is just through playing these Candy Crush games. So every so often as you're adding things like a couch or a new paint color to the walls, you're prompted with the game so you can get more money to add more stuff. And I thought that was actually really cool of them. They could have used that as an opportunity to like make actual money off of people, but they didn't make it pay to win. I will say that the options are very HGTV, but I do like that every time you make a decision, Drew and Jonathan actually pop up on screen and are like, damn, great job, the place looks great. Like, thanks guys. I try my best. I definitely underestimated how long it would take me to actually finish the room though, because when I saw it, I was like, okay, they're gonna make me add a lamp, a couch, a rug, and that's gonna be it. That's gonna be the living room. But then it just kept going and never stopped. Like, every single time I thought I was done the room, they'd pop up and be like, wow, great job so far, but why don't you add a 360 coin poof to spice the room up? To which, obviously I'm going to add a 360 coin poof. What kind of living room doesn't have a 360 coin poof? Mine, actually. The peak of this game, though, has to be the end once you're finished the room, when both of the brothers pop up and they say, wow, this is a good-looking room. almost as good looking as us. This is how my room turned out, by the way, if you were curious. I think it's okay. Like, I think I did the best I could with the options I was given. Like, I think regardless of however many ways you combine everything, it's going to end up looking like a hotel lobby, which I respect, but it's also not the like home renovation escapism I'm looking for, you know? Beyond that first game, you can actually choose between projects with different clients in different cities, and I honestly think it was done pretty well, honestly. Would I ever play it again? No, but it also isn't bad by any means, and I really appreciate that you didn't have to pay to win. Beyond their app, they are still pretending to be American by omission, unfortunately, which, if you haven't seen my first video, part of that was we were looking at their different music videos and their music career that they started, and one of the songs was them like on a barn singing a country song with an American flag in the background. Like, it was very American core, but they're Canadian, which I honestly don't understand why they wouldn't play that up more. Like, I feel like their audience would actually like that, because it kind of adds to their shtick. Like, oh, we're not just a realtor and contractor twin duo, we're Canadian. I feel like they would eat that up, no? Jonathan, though, who is the contractor, by the way, is actually dating Zooey Deschanel, which is the weirdest combination of people I think I've ever heard in my life. Like, my brain can't even figure out how they would meet. All I'm picturing is like a meet cute in a craft store. But the reason I'm bringing that up isn't just because that pairing is absolutely insane to me, but also because he recently dropped a song called Being Honest on his own. He went solo. The song isn't that outrageously bad or good to really talk about beyond mentioning that he dropped it. It kind of sounds like something you'd hear at Christian camp.
Something's gotta change. Enough's enough, so wake up.
But the real drama is that there's a girl who's singing in the background of the song, and in the comments section of one of the lyric videos, people were discussing whether it was Zooey Deschanel or not. And somebody had commented that there's no way it could be Zooey because she's not a professional singer. Listen, I understand it's been a while since Zooey Deschanel has been an it manic pixie dream girl. But to erase her scene in Elf, to erase she and him, and claim that an HGTV contractor is a more professional singer than her, that is simply my villain origin story. He also dropped a documentary called Power Trip, where he talks about becoming an energy choice activist in favor of solar power, which, I mean, we love to see. Go Jonathan. And it actually turns out he's up for an award for it right now. Drew, on the other hand, just kind of like chills with his wife. He's not really doing anything crazy. He's just working on the shows that him and Jonathan have. Him and Jonathan also both have TikTok accounts that are dedicated to like home life hacks. But for the most part, both of them just kind of like mind their business, do their thing, smile and nod when a basket weaver tells them they want a $5 million house for $900,000, and I kind of love to see it. They're building a very subtle dynasty. Like, on the surface you see them and you're like, okay, you're on HGTV, so you're probably doing well. But when you start to look at the whole picture, like the entire iceberg, they're kind of geniuses. I really do want the real Property Brothers to eventually meet the doppelgangers. I think that would be pretty funny. I'm gonna manifest it, but I don't really know if it's gonna happen. But since we've looked into the doppelgangers and checked in on the Property Brothers, I think my work is done here for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. You can also turn my post notifications on if you want to be notified every single time that I upload, or you can follow me outside of YouTube on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch, which are all Casey Aonso. I'm taking a bit of a Twitch hiatus, but I'm gonna be back soon. It's a ton of fun when we do stream, but that's about it for me. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video again, and I'll see you in the next one.